So this was one of my favorite places to be. This is the prayer room. I remember emptying tissue boxes. No tissues left in here, just crying and pouring my heart out to the Lord. So this was a blessing to me. So my name is Marcia, and I came here from Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't know anything about South Carolina other than being a member online for Redemption Church. One day, or should I say early in the morning, heard go to Greenville. And I was nervous about it, didn't understand what was going on, and I thought, okay, well, I better check and look online and see what they have going on. And they happen to have a women's conference. So I got myself together, purchased a ticket, came out to the women's conference and enjoyed myself and went back. And then so many months later, the same thing happened. Early in the morning, I heard a voice say, go to Greenville. So I thought, again, like, okay, well, I'll find out what's going on. And came out again. And then went back, and my life started just crumbling, falling apart. And finally I found my face one day and was like, God, what is going on? What do you want me to do? What? And early in the morning, probably 2 or 3 days later, I heard, go to Greenville. And I flew out, left my car because I didn't want to drive it and put a lot of miles on it. I thought I'd be able to just have it shipped after. So that's how I got here. It was basically, I call it an Abraham move. I call it an Abraham move. My finances were completely drained, and I couldn't stay in a hotel anymore, and I didn't really have anywhere to go. So I got my suitcase, packed it. I had a suitcase and an overnight kit, and I stacked my suitcase on my overnight kit on my suitcase and started walking. I was just saying, Lord, I have nowhere to go. I'm homeless. It was a shock to me because I used to feed homeless people in Arizona. I would take my kids out and go with churches and go feed the homeless. And I never could have imagined or would have imagined that I would be in that position. So I didn't know what was going to become of me. I just knew that I had to trust in the Lord. And so prayerfully, I just kept moving forward. That was all I could do.
Marcia was just sweet. There was no like combativeness in her. Like, she was there because that's where she knew God had placed her and where she wanted to be. It was like she just knew that Shepherd's Gate is where God wanted her for that season.
The feeling you get when you walk through the door is comforting. Being out there and being alone and seeing smiling faces that are telling you you're in the right place, you're going to get help here, it's going to be all right, comforted me.
It varies. You really have to meet the person where they are, and they're all so different. With Miss Marcia, it looked like encouraging her to get her CDL so that she could be a bus driver. It looked like letting her use the computer, at different times than the computer lab is normally open, so that she could facilitate all of those classes. And just really encouraging her through that, because it's hard to get your CDL. And she's not a spring chicken, and she was really like, I just don't know if I can do this at my age. But once again, she just persevered and pushed through it because she knew that that's what God wanted her to do.
I could study in their computer room, which was awesome. And I studied and passed my test and started working for the schools. So I became able to fend for myself.
She's an amazing caregiver to people that she loves, and those kids are fortunate to have her as their bus driver.
I began to realize that not only was I being sheltered, I was being used by God, because I learned to comfort. I learned that homeless people are not always drug addicts or alcoholics, or some people just have circumstances that thrust them into the situation, as mine had. So I began to have a new perspective on homelessness and shelters. And
she's a beautiful picture of obedience, and just where she was when she came in and where she is now is like what it's all about, you know, and just her gratitude and to God. And she loves Shepherd's Gate, she loves us, you know, and we love her, but just her relationship with the Lord is remarkable. And if you've never had a Miss Marcia hug, I encourage you to get one. They're the best.
You make mistakes in life, and you realize that as long as there are people who are still willing to hand you that hand and pull you back up, you keep going. So I learned a lot, and I kept going.